Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a very special video. This is going to be a Cyber Weekend predictions video. As you know, this time is upon us. We've saved up our units in some regards, and it is time to spend said units on the very spiciest of things. You bear in mind this will drop largely around the 27th of November. That image was taken from last year, so yes, 27th of November. If I was to compare them, I would say they'd be more similar to the July 4th offers, but there will be some differences based on current meta shifts of the game and also taking into consideration the Thronebreaker title. Now in this video I'm going to be trying my best to predict, but at the same time we have to take into consideration that where the game was last year is completely different to where we are now. We now have more availability of rank 3 6-star champions, Abyss of Legends has been dropped, and as well we have to consider what went down with July 4th and the better deals that we saw in conjunction with the May complaint. I don't know what's going to say. The May changes to the game that we'd like to see. The burned out and bored phase, you all know what I mean by that, where we saw those dev diaries and stuff. So this on screen at the moment is the last year, the 2019 Cyber Weekend deals. And as you can see, they don't really fit into the current meta of the game. Now the best thing I can do with this video is compare up against the 4th of July deals. Now we're going to be referring back to two bits of information. The first one being from Frontline MCOC. So if you don't know, Dan, who's my co-host of the Contest Round podcast, he's got a site called frontlinemcc.home.blog, link is in the description, and this particular page here which details a lot of the deals that were present. There was 21,000 units in total deals, depending if you went for the 6-star Awakening bundle and so much more, and also deep dives into further stuff. This is a good basis to understand where the game meta is going and as well what players are looking to get, but there should be more added to this when Thronebreaker titleage and you would assume offers and as well deals to drop in a subsequent week. Now something very important to bear in mind is where you are in the game may be different to another player. Someone that may be very early cavalier would actually experience more of a push or need to grab themselves more 5 stars at 565. This will be largely for getting through and 100%ing the likes of Act 6.2, having a diverse roster to take on various different content, acquiring more shards to shoot and grab either Nexus crystals that are going to be on offer from this particular Cyber Weekend, or get more shards to get more dual class crystals, which currently are so much better than 5-star basics that, well, I just think they're absolutely amazing, to be honest. At the same time, it's important to recognise that those that have now pushed to the point of Thronebreaker will require a lot more of what was on show, but as well at a cheaper unit cost than it was on July 4th. For example, you can see the 6-star Summoner bundle contains 10 6-star signature stones, stone crystals, 2,500 6-star hero crystal shards, 1 tier 5 5% class catalyst fragment crystal on 100,000 gold. This would need to be bumped up a little bit more than what it is. At least 20 6-star signature stones, the likes of approaching 3,000 6-star hero crystal shards, and more of a chunk of a tier 5 class catalyst fragment crystal, or a selector. Now I'm not saying that for 1,000 units it should be that, but at the same time it is better to equate to those that now are pushing different titleages, different boundaries, and as well higher chunks of tier 5 class catalyst to receive what they need to then go further and beyond. But maybe that notion of padding those different elements mentioned should be more for the increased amount of units. So maybe the 10,000 units that you see higher chunks and volumes of different things. And as I said, where different players will be at is going to be vitally important. Are you a player that can honestly say that your 5-star roster is so diverse that you can take on Act 6? If the answer is no, but you are a cavalier, then you're going to have to push for more 5 stars. If the answer to that is like, well, no, I'm kind of pushing late cavalier, I'm about to do an Abyss run, or I'm about to become Thronebreaker, or I'm just becoming Thronebreaker, I should see myself getting the more rarer things. And you're right, the current meta has shifted in a large state over the last year, and as well with new content coming out, you want the best champions to take on the content. Taking into consideration all that information and as well trying to get an idea of where I see the different types of additions based on limitations for different types of titleage, let's try and give the predictions a go. So where do I stand on this one? Right, Thronebreaker, Cavalier, Uncollected. You all have different problems at different titleages. All of things like, you know, Thronebreaker, Cavalier could say that ISO is a problem. Command never give out ISO, so it's a case you may have to look into the shard acquisition that you get from this, and then look to then say, hey, I've got some ISO. That's great. But in any case, let's try and help to explain this a little bit more, because it does need explaining. Actually, for those that are uncollected, you are going to be pushing more to grab more 5 stars, and that's just a case of trying to get certain content done or having specific champions available and spending them on dual class crystals in order to get some advancement in what you're doing with your MCOC career. So rank up resources like tier 2 alpha rank up gems would be very well received, as well as more 5-star shards, as I said, for those dual class crystals, which will give you the better champion options rather than, you know, just trying to find a needle in a haystack or a god tier in a haystack when it comes to spinning out basic 5-star crystals, which are now pretty much irrelevant in a good way because they just became trash. More tier 2 alpha and more gold. I don't know if gold is really a problem for those that are uncollected, and as well, gold is a bit of a random question mark when it comes to where you are in the game. If you do incursions a lot, if you do arena a lot, it won't be a problem, but for those that don't really or have no interest in those things, they will be considered to be a problem. And that's largely where I think that the solution will be for uncollected, is to boost your 5 stars, get more new 5 stars, get more rank ups and 565 opportunities, because they don't come around so much. The next thing to do with predictions is trying to solve a problem like Cavalier. Cavalier is very difficult. For those that have speed run through from going from uncollected to Cavalier very quickly, you'll have a problem now that your acquisition of 5 stars is going to be very low. So it won't be diverse enough to cover for an extended or exploration of Act 6. Or maybe you got lucky and got some champions that you're able to do Abyss of Legends, which then gives you that oomph to then get you closer to Thronebreaker. So there's so many people, so many different people in different states with this. But I think the same thing can remain true, similar to the 5-star side of things, is you need more to explore Act 6. So that will be the pain point and the solution, which could merge together with what uncollected need. But as well, Cavalier players will feel cheated by if they're not offered something similar to Thronebreaker, especially for those that maybe are pushing a little bit further, haven't had that luck with the tier 5 class catalyst, and as well haven't made that bump up to Thronebreaker. So tier 5 class catalyst selectors will be needed, when before they were all about fragment crystals. And yeah, as seen here, these were all just random fragment crystals. So we need to see something that's going to be beneficial for those that want to get selectors. We've been calling out for a while to get selectors, especially trying to bump up and get that Thronebreaker titleage that you really want to get. It is also a very iffy push to go, hey, well, do you need to get a higher volume of 6-star shards, especially if you're falling in the problem or the situation of going, hey, I need more 5-star shards to get more 5-star champions of types that you want. I mean, for me, I'm hunting for about 2 or 3 different champions for specific reasons, but apart from that, I'm pretty much got the roster that I want. The only issue that I have now being a Thronebreaker is the same problems I had as Cavalier, because I'm still not acquiring a huge amount of the volume of rank up materials. More so with tier 2 alpha, but again, that's something we'll talk about with the Thronebreaker. But more tier 5 basics may be on offer that you require, and I would hope that would be the case, especially if you're looking to do things like Cavalier on a monthly basis, but I've been going, oh, do you know what, this isn't, I just don't have the roster available for this to get this done. And that is a problem for a lot of players. They're also, their kind of interest wanes when it comes to this as well. So more tier 5 basic, I think, is something that needs to be on offer for very low Cavalier players. I mean, for me, I'm getting too much of it and not enough tier 2 alpha to then bring it up, and that may be the same problem a lot of other Cavalier players are experiencing as well. Next up, and how do you solve a problem like Thronebreaker? And here's the thing, I do not think that my problems will be the same problems that will be affecting or that have the same, say, gravitas as the ones that we've got on screen at the moment. All of these players either are whales of the game, either are incredibly talented at what they do, they're in top alliances, they're extensive grinders, those type of scenarios. What they need to see from the Thronebreaker deals, if Thronebreaker deals are going to be a thing, is to indeed stack on the extent of 6 stars being up to rank 3, number 1. Number 2, the signature stones for those 6 stars being close to 200, with those particular things being so rare at the moment that either getting them from a free-to-play standpoint is just not there, unless there's some substantial free-to-play unit deals on offer in this Cyber Weekend. This is why these deals have to look towards at least Abyss of Legends and Act 6 completion or 100% standing when it comes to what they see from this. And that's the thing, last time if you were to get the 6-star Awakening gem, you're looking at 21,000 units spend. It's an extensive amount to spend on the game if you're doing it financially. If you're doing it free to play, hey, good on you and well done. But there is the thing about, have you got the time to add to the game? But as well, if you want the good stuff, you've got to do it. So family life and everything else life goes out the window. But look, this is what players need to see. When you're at the top level, top alliances, you need the prestige. If you need the prestige, you need to be able to rank up, rank 3 of those champions. You need to be able to add 200 signatures ASAP. And here's the thing, that's what you need to see. More Nexus crystals, 6-star Nexus crystals, or at least 6-star shards to get those really tasty 6-star featured crystals. Rank up gems. Would we see a rank 1 to rank 2? I would say we would be likely to see them on those unit deals. Not the money ones, I'm talking the free to play ones. So whatever offers they are, the kind of caches, sorry I should call them caches. Also 2 to 3 gems, bit of an iffy one to put in, the same thing with 6-star Awakening gems. But here's the thing, from those people that we listed on the screen, that are on screen now, they will look and they will require to see that from the Thronebreaker titleage. Will it upset the game balance? Well, you know, we're assuming that all these people have 100%ed everything and as well are just pushing the narrative of what's next for me. And that's the thing, they want to be able to rank up those champions that they've got. Lots of 6 stars, lots of spending of money. They want to see some bang for their buck. And that's what I think they'll be looking to see from this. But lots of 6-star signature stones need to be on offer for this. A lot more tier 5 basic on offer as well. A lot as well when it comes to tier 2 alpha. But let's assume if they are or not doing map 7 base participation, then that volume has to be spicy enough to then, you know, whet their appetite to go, I want to spend, I need the stuff. But as well, lots of gold needs to be on offer with that as well. So it is basically like the July 4th deals, but on speed. Now, I don't know if you're expecting for me to break down 8 individual deals to then put units aside them and as well what I think is going to be the new deals that are going to be there. But let's just say that the easiest thing for me to cover this is to say there needs to be increases to solve the problems, the pain points that players are experiencing, and more so with the titleage system. As I said in the past, and as I said in this video, Uncollected need to see boosters in order to see those champions be raised up and as well get those 4s to 5s, so those 5s are then taking on the likes of Act 6 that they're able to get the content done and as well get Cavalier titleage. That's what they need to be bumped up to doing. When it comes to Cavalier, this is all about either at the very lower end preparing 5 stars to then take on content and as well cultivate more of them to take on more difficult content, like starting to go through and complete Act 6 and as well start thinking and considering the idea of Abyss of Legends. But there may be very end point Cavaliers that are still grasping with trying to do Abyss of Legends for the first time, may have completed Act 6 and need that bump up. And that will require them again on 5-star cultivation, getting tier 5 class catalysts, and that will be something that they need to get selectors for. So selectors being a big thing about that. And as I said with Thronebreaker, that is your big whale end and as well the players that need more to get further and as well do that end game content with, not with ease, but as well have those rare champions that they've worked hard to obtain, and especially at 200 signature and all that stuff. But I may have got that completely wrong, and have your say in the comment section where you think Cav will go with creating these deals, and as well what are your thoughts on Thronebreaker? Should it be a case that they add in a full tier 5 class catalyst or 50% to a full, and how do you think it should be fair? And as well, do you have any thoughts about the Cyber Weekend deals before they go in? Put your predictions in the comment section. Thanks very much for supporting and watching. Check out some recent content up there. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.